This is Daf Yomi Yerushalmi Daf Chav Tes in the article Oz V'Hadar edition. We are at the Mishnah, Talach Gimel, and in the Vilna edition, it is Daf Zayin Ralph at the top on the Mishnah Halach Gimel. Hey Rosh Tor Yerek Nichnas. The Rosh Tor is we had way back in the beginning of the Masechta. That's a Rosh Tor, and there was keeping the Sorim. Here it's vegetables. Hey Rosh Tor Yerek Nichnas Tosech Yerek Achen. It goes into another field, not quite literally into, but it's adjacent to the other field. Mutzim Nation near Kasov say it's okay because it looks like the end of his field. In other words, that Rosh Tor looks like it ends over there. So obviously that's sufficient to identify it as distinct. Your field was planted with vegetables. You want to put a row of another vegetable there? Actually, I tell him a foolish mirosh. I should have said about some rosh. You can tell him there, but it's got to go from one end of the field all the way to the other end of the field. Right? It doesn't have to go all the way to the other end of the field, but it has to be 6 tefachim wide, 6 tefachim long. Sorry. The rochav, what's its width? Miluo. So miluo, according to the Rash, means 6 tefachim. The Gra learns it means mashu, but it's not. It's a little bit difficult, and it could be that he's referring to the gap between the this row and the other rows. So let's go with the Rashi that says 6 tefachim. It makes it a little bit easier to work with. Rabbi Yomer rochav kimlo rochav ha-parsa. So Rabbi Yehuda says the width is like the width of a leg, which is a tefach. So again, it sounds like we're going on the telem itself, not on any harchaka between it and the rest of the field. Hey, Rosh Tavachuli. So tiny bit kapara. This is going on the end of the Mishnah. Eno zorea v'toicha elaminach v'ilvad. That strip, whether it's the telem across the entire length of the field, or it's a smaller telem like Rabbi Akiva, you can only plant one type of vegetable there. You can't plant multiple types of vegetables there. So it has to look distinct from the other vegetables in the field. So we can only plant one type there. Ma'amar b'shma b'rochav. Okay, Rabbi Akiva said the width has to be 6 tefachim. What does the Yeshua say about the width? Mine, Rabbi Akiva, chobesh b'shalosh should be ruchos, according to the Rash and Rabbi Chaim. Rabbi Akiva has it surrounded on 3 sides by other vegetables, because the telem doesn't go the entire length of the field, it just stops in the middle. So it's chobesh on 3 sides. Isay rochav milul. He says that 6 tefachim across is enough. Rabbi Shmuel shu chobesh b'shtei ruchos. He's only sounds on 2 sides. The koshke certainly 6 tefachim wide should be enough. Okay, what does he say by you want to put a row of vegetables in not a vegetable garden, a vegetable patch, but in a grain field. So Rabbi Yochanan said there that it's enough if you want to put another type of grain field that the telem be 10.5 amos long. Doesn't have to be the entire length of the field. In Parak Beis Halaches. What's he going to say here by the Yerek in the middle of the Sadat Tvua? Ma in Rabbi Akiva do mekel hacha u'makner taman. Rabbi Akiva was lenient here. Is machmer over there, and he requires 10.5, I believe, if I recall correctly. The 6 tefachim like this is not enough. You have to have 10.5, 6.5, 6 tefachim. You have 10 amos, right? 10 half amos is just so here. Rabbi Shmuel, whose machmir says he needs the entire length. There's still should be machmir, and perhaps you can't go more than the limit up of the entire length of the field, but you should go the entire length of the field there as well, between vegetables and grain. Right? So if Rabbi Akiva, who's mako that's the length of the Talmud, has to be 6 tefachim between, and then you can plant a different row of vegetables in the middle between two other patches of vegetables. So certainly, and he was there, but it has to be 10.5 amos. The telem of a third grain, and build 2 other grains. So certainly, Rabbi Shmuel, who's machmir, says the telem of the vegetables in has to go throughout the entire length of the field. Is going to be machmir over there and say, in this case, and say that when you have yerek in grain, you have to have it the entire length. The telem has to go the entire length of the field. So it says Gemara, Lo tzurcha ella, the law, I mean, we know it's contracted ella. That's not a question. You're right. Amad Amar Rabbi Yishmael Taman Barochav. What does Yishmael say there about the width? Here, that we're just talking about the length, but what about the width? Come on, that Amar Taman. So either you're going to learn like Yerushalmi often has that Taman here. Taman means here. Or you can change the gear so like the Gra and Reb Chaim do to Hacha. Kamad Amar Hacha, Lo Shani Rabbi Kiva Rabbi Shmuel Barochav. They both require 6 tvachim, right, in the width. Now the Gra and Reb Chaim put in a line here. Kain at Amar Taman. So too, you're going to say same thing by the vegetables among the grains. Loshna hi Rabbi Kiva, Loshna hi Rabbi Kiva, hi Rabbi Shmuel Barochav. Also, they require the same width over there of 6 tvachim. Okay, so it says Gemara, Shmuel Amar Lo Shana Ela Shura Achas. If you have one row, then 6 tvachim width is enough. Hashtayim also. But if you have 2 rows, it's not also. In other words, it's also. In other words, 6 tvachim has to be full. We've had this several times, a variation on this theme several times. If you have a 6 tvachim wide telem, so you can't put 2 types of vegetables in that telem. You can put the 2 rows of the same vegetable, but not 2 different vegetables. Now here, Rabbi Shmuel takes a step further. He says that you only have 1 row in those 6 tvachim, not 2 rows. Even sounds like of the same vegetable. So, if you want by 2 rows, then it would seem that Rabbi Akiva, according to the way Rabbi Chaim learns this, then Shmuel is going to Rabbi Akiva. He's saying that 2 would be aser, and then you would require, if you want 2 rows of different type of vegetable, you require mefulash mishar ashar. Say in Eruvin, that goes throughout the entire field from one side to the other, like Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Yochanan Shimon ben Lakish Tarbein Amru. That was who? That was Shmuel. Rabbi Yochanan Shimon Lakish Tarbein Lo Shani Achas Ishtayim. No, doesn't matter whether it's 1 or 2 rows. It's enough to have a 6 tvachim length in order to make that distinct. Rabbi Shimon Lakish Omer Mutar Lavkia Arba Shuros. You're allowed to put through 4 rows bibika in an open field. So you have according to Reb Chaim, you have a large field of grain. Because if it's a vegetable field by grain, you have to have a distance of base rova. So here, by 4, if it's only 4 rows, it's not considered to be a sada, and you only need the distance of 6 tvachim. And he says an interesting thing. He says even if 1 shura would be usher, I guess it was less than 6 tvachim. Here it says 4 shuras, it looks like a sada by unto itself, and it's mutter. Okay, so that's, he says, mutter of arba shuras bebika. Rabbi Yochanan said, "Vachu shtei shuros hachitzonos nidonos karuga." As long as the 2 outer rows are considered to be in haruga, means they're going to be 6 tvachim wide. Picture of it if we can. There's a picture in the article. Let's see if there's a picture in the Reb Chaim. So this has to be going. You have here in a grain field, you have yerek and yerek. Those 2 patches have to be 6 tvachim wide. And they can put 2 other rows in the middle. Okay, so those you have 4 rows. One here, which is more than 6 tvachim wide. There's another more than 6 tvachim wide, and then in the middle you have 2 additional rows, which can be less than 6 tvachim wide. So as he says, that they're going to be 6 tvachim wide. Like I said, there's another picture in the article. Maybe it's worth seeing. No. Not on this. No picture. No more. Rabbi Zera said, "Uvad shlosha betoch shisha." As long as you have three, you have to have three tfachim between each min. So you're going to have within six tfachim, you have so six tfachim. You can have a strip of three. Three strips. I don't have a picture here, but we have a six tfachim patch. So then you can have tefach, one thing, tefach blank, tefach another thing, tefach blank, and tefach a third thing. So you can get in three in that strip, which is direct contradiction to what we said before, that you can only have one type of vegetable. Rabbi Yehuda said, "Time of Rabbi Yehuda. What's the rationale of Rabbi Yehuda, who says that it's the thickness of a tefach?" And I guess that Rabbi Zera is going on Rabbi Yehuda. It's reasonable to say that, right? Because he's going with the tefach. He's saying, well, with the tefach not be taken literally so much, but have tefach planted, then tefach blank, tefach planted, tefach blank, and then tefach planted. So, well, what is the shear of a tefach? So, Rav Huna, time of the Rabbi Yehuda, b'shkis baruch gan hayorok. You're going to water your plants in Eretz Yisrael like a vegetable garden. Kamush v'raglucha. Oh, regel. So, kama yishur shel parsa. What's the shear of a regel of a parsa? That is the shear is a tefach. It's a tefach width. I'm just curious, going back to Rabbi Zera, who also learns a Chaim. It's going on Rabbi Yehuda. I'm guessing probably not. No, so the way he's learning it is it's going on and the way he's going, it's going. It's hard to see in this picture, but the way he's learning it, it's going on these pictures here. And if you see these pictures, it's shaded. Partially, these six tefachim are partially shaded. So the partial shading is three tefachim on this side, and partial shading over here is three tefachim. Saying of these six tefachim in the outer arugos, you only have to plant three of them, three outer ones, and then the fact that you didn't plant in the other three tefachim in those outer arugos, that's not a problem with us. Evidently, because you have more in the middle still. Okay, so that's what he's saying. That according to Reb Chaim, what he's saying is that again that Zilvaj Shlosha Mitoch Shisha. You have to plant three out of the six on one side, three of the six on the other side. And I guess it means that you also don't get four, you only get three. No. According to the Mara folder, he says that you still get to have two in the middle. So according to the Mara, you have to read it like this. So Vaj Shloshim Toch Shisha, it just means that you get, I don't know, the plain motion needs to be saying something else, not sure what he's saying. Just Shloshim Toch Shisha, and then you still get the two strips in the middle as well. Okay, so it's not going to Rabbi Yehuda, a leniency in Rabbi Yochanan that, yes, the two outer ones have to be arugos, but only 3 out of the 6. That aruga has to be planted. And I think we're way on to Lamed Amar Alpha at this point. Yep. Yeah. Okay. We're up to Tamatina, and we'll stop here for tonight.